There he is. Him ain't very big, but we broke the ice, folks. Today, well, we're going to be skipping docks. Let's let this little black crappie go. Let's let him go. I thought he was bigger than that. He thumped it, and he thumped it hard. Let's get it back up under there and see if there's another one. Yep, there's another one. Oh, he's tangled up in that rope. But there he is. There's another one. There's a school of them under there. And I'm going to tell you what. Let's talk about truth. Let's look across right here. Let's start right here. See that big dock right there? From that dock, so that's 1, 2, and there's one right there, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I fished 14 docks all the way down through there on that side, which took me about 35 minutes without a bite. So I come over here on this side, first dock that I fished, and we caught two small crappies. So that's the kind of work that it takes oftentimes to find these fish. And then on top of that, a lot of times it's hard to find the big fish, especially this early in the fall. The water temperature right now is 70 degrees on top, early fall. The water needs to get colder, folks, for the bigger fish. But today, well, I'm going to stick stubborn and see if we can't catch a few good ones. Let's make another cast real quick right here. Then we'll talk about equipment and jigs. We're going to talk about it all today. Let's get back up under there. Yeah, there's another one right there. That one's a little bit better. He ain't no monster, but he's a lot better than them first two. That's a black crappie. Let's let him go right here. Ain't that pretty, folks? Now, this is a 7-foot dock. Okay, it's 7 foot deep. And these fish are way back up under there, as y'all can see, but they're not over 1.5 feet deep. They're high up in the water column. They feel safe, and this is when they're the most active, when you find them set up in this way. Early in the morning like this. They're very, very active. Let's get us another skip way back up in there. Okay, about 1.5 feet deep. Real steady, and there he is. In the mornings, they're usually higher up in the water column, than on up in the day. On up in the day, a lot of times you'll have to let it sink all the way to the bottom, then start your retrieve. On a 7 or 8 foot dock, when you find them, that's a black crappie. Let's let him go. Alright, there he goes. Right now, the surface temperature is at 70 degrees on top. Found some fish right here on a, well, actually it's an 8 foot dock. I believe I said 7 foot dock. There's 8 feet of water under this dock right here. These fish are about 1.5 feet below the surface. We're going to catch a few more of them. Then we're going to look for similar docks. We're going to try to find some that's similar to this one. Because you can develop patterns. When you're talking about dock fishing, you can develop patterns. especially in the fall. What's going on right now is shad are coming up into these coves off of the main lake. And a lot of these coves are a lot shallower than others. This one is actually a fairly deep cove compared to a lot of them in this lake. But the small threadfin and small gizzard shad is what I'm looking for. They're what I'm following around, folks. And the only cover available in most of these coves, for the most part, are going to be boat dogs. Crappie, during the day, prefer shaded areas. It's made to order for crappie. Cover like boat dogs. So, I love it. I love the technique of skipping. It keeps your accuracy. The mechanics of skipping keeps your accuracy up to par. And a lot of times you can find some big fish. I don't expect to find big fish today. But later on, when the water temperature drops about 10 more degrees, from about 60 degrees to about 55, it's perfect for the better fish. But right now, I expect to catch a lot of fish. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to skip baits, and I may just stick with this one. This is a crappie magnet with a 1/32 ounce jig head with a 40-pound test monofilament weed guard, which I tie myself. 4-pound test high-vis line. I'm a line watcher. I watch for that line to go thump, and when I see that, I thump back. A lot of fun, folks. Clean fun, but there's a lot more to it than what it seems. Casting is very important, because if one does not put this bait where the fish are, one won't catch fish. So when it comes to skipping, it's hard to tell somebody how to skip. This is definitely a technique that one has to get out here and master. Let's quit talking about it. Let's catch a fish. Whoa! Now this is a little dowel reel. It's a Reverus LT1000. And like I said, I have it loaded with 4-pound test, high-vis line. Now, usually, when I'm fishing for crappie, I will tie a loop knot, but because I have to set the hook a little bit harder because of this weed guard, I just go ahead and tie a Palomar knot or a trilene knot to try to get all the strength that I can out of the 4-pound test line. Now, I used to skip with a 6-pound test line, and it's a lot stronger. It's 2-pound test, a lot stronger, I mean, which is a big deal when you're talking about crappie. But I feel like I can get a better flow off of the spool with the 4-pound test line. I can get it farther back up in there where them crappie live. A lot of times you have to get a bait way back up in there to reach the fish, because they hold on specific places, parts of a dock, and they'll move from one place to the next depending on how much sunlight. Now this morning, well, the intense part of the shade is right here on this part of the dock. Now if you'll look up here, it's not near as intense. So they'll seek the darkest part of the shade on the dock. And a lot of times, well, especially on bigger docks, you have to really be able to fire that bait up under there, and skipping is the way to do it. Let's see what else we can catch right here. About 1.5 feet deep, so I'm about 1.5 feet deep right now. Just a steady retrieve is how I got those fish to bite this morning. Now you have to mess around with that retrieve. A lot of times you may have to work your bait a little bit different. In other words, instead of a steady retrieve, a lot of times just Steady retrieve it like that and just let the bait fall a few inches. Sometimes that's what it takes to get a strike. But most of the time, if a crappie's active, you don't have to do anything fancy. Just make the presentation, let it fall 1.5 feet, and then bring it back like that, and there he is. You see, that's all it's taking to get the strikes right now. And like I said, and it's very important to pay attention to this, sometimes you have to just kill the bait and let it fall. And that's what it takes to get the strike. Normally, when you're having to do that, that means you're fishing for inactive crappie. There's one. Come on back here. I changed angles right there, folks. Are getting slow. Let's push back right here. They're getting slow. I was catching them from the front angle, as y'all seen. Changed and went through the school at a different angle, and voila, we triggered another fish. I don't believe there's any big ones under there. We're gonna have to journey on. This is an old dog, and another thing is I target oftentimes the older dogs on purpose. They're usually the best dogs to fish, and that's pretty well a fact because they accumulate, over the years they accumulate a lot of debris, folks. A whole lot of debris up under them. See, I'm going to show y'all something. Well, see, we're in 9 feet of water right there, but look at the bait. Those shad are all over these dogs. They're little bitty shad, anywhere from 1.5 inches to 2 inches long. They're about the size of this jig right here. And that's one reason, of course, why I use light colored jigs. I want to match shad. Let's see if there's another one right here. Yep, there's a bunch of crappie right here. Big school of fish right there up under that pontoon boat. Look here. I mean, a big bunch of fish. Okay, let's let him go. Let's try that again. Well, try nothing. We're gonna make a cast right there and catch a fish. And I'm just letting it fall about 2 feet deep and just bringing it back real slow. That's all I'm doing. That's been the pattern today. They ain't been very deep. See, that dock is 9-10 feet deep right there where my cast is. But the fish is right on the surface, you might say. A couple feet deep. Now tomorrow that could change. It depends on the weather. Hello, boy, there. There he is. You know, folks, come on in here, boy. I missed that fish 3 or 4 times. Or not this particular fish, but I have to, a lot of times when I'm catching these crappie, you've got to, or anybody, let's let him go. Let me get this out because I don't know if I've ever told this before. But a lot of times you've got to catch a crappie or two to fire the school up, just like bass. And that's the case right here. And I've had to do that a couple of different times on different docks today. When you catch one, you can usually catch several. Once you fire the school up is what I'm saying. See, like right there. See, I've been here a while. I've been here a long while. There's another black crappie. Repetitive cast. And the reason why I knew they was there is because they kept pecking, just little bitty pecks. And what they're doing, let's let him go, is they don't want it, but what they're doing is just grabbing it right here. As this jig goes by, they're just grabbing it and not the whole bait. And that's something I've done for years. Once you catch one, you can pretty well catch them. I mean, it just fires them up, folks, just like bass. In other words, after I catch this fish right here, boy, that's a good one right here. This is a good fish right here, folks. Look here. Looky here, that's a good one right here. Let's see if we can flip him. Boy, I took a chance. Boy. You know, there's no way in the world we can show all the fish. But this particular dock right here, I caught probably about 10 or 11 crappie, ranging anywhere from 9 to 9.5, maybe a couple of them 10 inches, but boom. All of a sudden, out of nowhere, a bigger fish hit. You never know. I guess that's the point I'm trying to make. You never know, because fishing is a sport. Well, it's second to none. Let's catch another one. Alright. It's a pretty fish right there. There she goes. You know, folks, the truth of the matter is, once crappie are located, this is all you have to do. And this is how easy it really is. Okay. On it.
I was fishing for them yesterday pretty hard.
Yeah.
I didn't do it, but I caught one fairly nice one.
Well, they're right in the middle of there.
What's that?
They're right in the middle of that dock. If you could,
I'm fishing right off the bottom.
if you could cut you a little hole right in the middle of that, you could catch them.
I sat on this dock. I just worked this really slow.
Yeah.
What color jig are you using?
It's up. Well, I'll throw it up there so you can look at it. It's got a red head on it. See it? See it right there?
They were identical.
Crappie magnet.
Oh, that was mine.
Little bitty light one. I like that red head this time of year. Red and white.
They're hitting that, huh?
Yeah, they're hitting it. I'm catching a lot of fish. Well, folks, once again, the Lord has blessed me for a very, very good day of fishing. Caught a lot of good crappie, caught a lot of fish, developed a pattern pretty quick. I want to say, God bless each and every one of y'all. Thank y'all for everything y'all do for this channel. I appreciate each and every one of y'all. Hey. And remember, go fishing when you can, because it's good for you.